Hello all and welcome to RaceOnOz Season 5.2 Heat 2 Split 2. This is a super casual stream tonight as we are just easing our way into 2022. We've got a pretty full grid here tonight actually, so we've got good numbers, which is great to see. Slambo on pole in the Bentley, so he's made his change from the McLaren from last week. HSV behind him in the Merc, and we've got Incy ahead of Vic Chan on the second row. So exciting race to come up. This should be a good one. Monza is always very, very exciting. This circuit does bring out some brilliant racing, provided everyone can get through turn one. A few changes for tonight from what we regularly do. The grid start, so the race start will be changed from the manual start, which we have been using for the last few seasons, to a automatic start as per the in-game race start. This is a move backwards to that, so it's been reinstated for the rest of this season. Look forward to seeing how this one goes. We're 10 seconds away from the race start, from the formation lap. This one. So there's one car's already fallen off the grid, unfortunately. I'm not too sure who that was. But unfortunately with the new regs, there will not be a restart to the server. As the car's now set off. So it was Slambo on pole. It was a really good lap from him, a 1:48 flat. It was really good to see Incy in third place on the grid there. It was great from him. Right, as the grid continues to form up, it'll be a slower formation lap than we're used to, as the drivers have to maintain their position within the indicators on their screens. A few guys won't be used to it, so I'm actually expecting a couple of penalties at the start of this one for guys being a bit too quick at the race start. So hopefully they've got a little bit of practice in. They're used to using these automated race starts. 19 cars on the grid, brilliant pole position there by Slambo. So he continues to show his pace as we Form up. Double file. So there's already a few people being caught out towards the back of the field, but can't wait to see the first lap of this one. Monza is always an exciting circuit. Plenty of action into turn one. And here we go. Grid's getting ready for the start. Just get ready for the start to initialise. And here we go. The race is up. Green light. Off we go. It's a good start there by Slambo. HSV has moved into second behind him. Incy in third as heavy braking. Oh, there's already contact at the back, and that's Incy's turn round. Majority of the field's got through pretty well. Oh, how unfortunate for Incy. And that is Banty that's gone round as well. Vic Chan has had to hold up, and he's going to bring up the rear of the field. So we just go to the back to the front. So there's more dramas at second chicane. The majority of the field looks like they're getting through there quite nicely, actually. So just slightly spread out. So we've got Slambo on HSV, the gap over Metal Steel and Bruise, as that is Bits of Missing runs wide at the Lesmos and lets through Sparky and Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince is in the Ferrari. Is he going to get up the inside? Oh, very, very close between Sparky and Fresh Prince there. And that's Khaki running wide. We've got Squid just behind him. Stanhouse behind him. Exo AB Saints. We've got, oh, who's that's gone round? That's an Aston. That was Stanhouse in the Aston. So still Vic bringing up the rear. Just have a quick look at this gap at the front. So that's been eked out a little bit further. It's more than a second now. And a big gap back to Metal Steel and Bruise. We've got Sparky, Fresh Prince, and and Bits of Missing. So that Bits of Missing's going to attempt to move up the inside. He's clouded the curb. He's clouded both curbs. Made contact with Fresh Prince. He's in the sand. And that has allowed Saint Sim to get by on both of these two. And that is Khaki just behind Bitzer. Just watch these two, see if they can get the move done. Just looking for it up the inside. Still going on between these two. It's not over yet. Oh, it's contact's made, and that'll be huge contact. Bits are missing in the fence. Just watch this battle here. That's AB Saints. Exo's just run wide. Behind them is Max. That's Bounty coming in, so he's going to get his pit stop done early. So obviously got a bit of damage there. Hello Stu, welcome back to the streams. You should be racing, mate. You should be in this one. As we go back, and so Squid has made some ground on Khaki, so I think Khaki's got some damage here. So we've got Bruise making ground on Metal Steel in third, so it's really good start for Metal Steel. Sparky got up to fifth, Fresh Prince behind him. So Saint Sim has made some good ground on Fresh Prince. We're continuing on. This field's spread out quite a lot so far already. So we just follow Vic Chan here, so you can see the damage on the front of his car. Getting up alongside Arrogance, but I think Gance has let him go and he's got that move made. He's coming up on the back of Max Gassett. Vic is very tentative through there. He's trying to. We've got Max going around the outside of AV Saints here. It's like Max has got the job done already. It'll be Vic's turn now. And Vic gets the job done. It's good racing there, lads. It's very good job. So looks as though Khaki's got some damage there. Incy's made some good ground back through the field as well. So has Khaki made a mistake somewhere? As Saint Sim has made good ground on Fresh Prince here. See what the gap is as they cross the line. So it's eked another 10th out in that final sector. This battle will continue between Saint Sim and Fresh Prince. This is a really good performance from Saint Sim. We recognise him from Sundays at the Pan Am Racing. And a decent performance there as Insium gets the move done on Khaki in the background, so Khaki's obviously struggling a little bit with that damage. So just have a quick look at this battle. Is in the background. That looked like Exo was struggled to get the car stopped for turn one, as there's a bit of lag here for Vic. He doesn't have the strongest ping, so this could be interesting to see. How is he going to go getting this move done on Max Gassett? Max Gassett is a hard person to pass, but he does make his car very wide. Just go on board with Vic here. Max goes to the inside. He's going to block. And he has let Vic go through. So, very sportsmanlike by Max. He's let Vic go through. Vic sets off. As in the background, that will be AB Saints, who's had a moment. So Incy's made really good ground on Squid here. As Khaki comes into the pits. This battle continues between Saint Sim and Fresh Prince. Saint Sim's got a chance here. Can he get up the inside for Lesmos? No, he's not quite close enough. He's trying to force a mistake out of Fresh Prince, and he does. Fresh Prince runs wide, he's on the grass. Can he hold it? No, he can't. Oh, there's foam flies everywhere. Oh, there's been contact behind him. Was that Squid that was hit, or was it Incy? We're not too sure. Fresh Prince has made it back on. Just was forced to run. He just missed the apex. Started Lesmos and he's just run wide on the grass. Fortunately couldn't hold it, and Khaki, unfortunately, stop-go penalty. So in all of that, Incy's made it past Squid. So we've got Sparky God coming into the pits again. He looks like he's got a bit of damage on the front of his car as well. We'll just go back and have a look at this incident for Khaki. Sorry, for Fresh Prince, sorry. It was a really good battle between these guys. It's just a bit slow coming out of here. You had a poor exit. You got a bit of the sand. Saint Sims he didn't quite chuck the nose up there, but he did force Fresh Princess to run wide. He's got the sand there. And he's hit the fence here and he's bounced back out. Oh, there's only slight damage between Squid and Fresh Prince. And it actually opened up the gap then for Incy. So I'm not too sure if there was contact for Incy, but he's done a good job of getting through there. So we look back through some of these gaps. This is the closest one on track at the moment, which will be Arrogance and Exo. So welcome to Arrogance. Welcome to RaceOnOz. It's really good to see you on the grid. So he's jumped in the BMW for this one. He's chasing down Exorcist. Seconds worth of damage coming into the pit. So that was that damage we saw on the front of his car. As this battle here has gotten very close. This is between Metal Steel and Bruise for third place. So we'll just jump on board with Bruce. Just follow him for the rest of his lap. Oh, he's tagged him. So Bruce has tagged Metal Steel, and that is Bounty going through trying to unlap himself. So there's no change of positions there, so the race will continue on. Just running a little bit hot. It's okay. He's supposed to have contact. There's no contact with anyone else. And it was redressed, so good sportsmanship by Bruce. Let's tell you who won this battle out. So there's no other positions lost, and there's a gap of 8 seconds now back to St. Sim, so they've got room behind them. And that is Bounty ahead. Yep. Fresh tyres. These gaps have opened up even more now, so the field's getting very, very spread out. So Sparky's the first of the drivers to make his pit stop. At the front of the field, we've got Slambo. He's doing some very impressive lap times, so as the field's coming down, he's going to get quicker and quicker. The track is gripping up. In a really good position here to continue his form. It's a good win last week. There's 17 minutes into this race. The field's very spread out. There's been plenty of action so far. Just take this opportunity to go on board for that Slambo. sit back by Slambo. He's super consistent. He's getting really good pace out of this Bentley. We've got Sparky just behind him, who's got HSV catching him. So there's 8 seconds between Slambo and HSV. So something's happened to HSV. Bruce is trying to get the gap back to Metal Steel. He's just got around Bounty, and the gap is extended back to Saint Sim. So good performance by him, P5. And Incy behind him. So Incy's got a bit of damage there, I think. He hasn't really been able to gap Squids. It's a good performance by Squid too. So he's up in 7th. And we've got Max Gassett. And Vic is in the pits. He was making good ground on the field. Interesting to see where Vic comes out, how much damage he's got. So this Sparky's just gone through, and Vic is still stuck in the pit. So must be some decent damage for Vic, as that was HSV. And that's Arrogance in the background. It's a little bit of a struggle there for Arrogance with that BMW, and that's Danhouse chasing down AB Saints. So it's not the first time these two have been in a battle, and I'm sure as hell know that it's not going to be the last time either. See if this gap is going down to AB Saints. So it's gone down to 10th in this last sector. So there's 10th in it in the lap times between these two. Exorcist just ahead of them. Stanhouse has lost half a second of ground to AB through the first chicane. Exo in the fence. So Exo's had a big moment there. Oh, sorry, no, next that's AB Saints. AB Saints had a huge moment. He's ended up in the fence. That's big damage. Big damage. As Bruce is slowly bringing down this gap to Metal Steel ahead of him. So Vic Chan has actually come out behind Bounty. He's actually just behind Saint Sim, so it'd be big damage for Vic. He's trying out the Honda at Monza. Wouldn't have been my first pick, but he's going to give it a crack, and if someone's going to be able to get speed out of it, it will be Vic. It's interesting to see how his comeback will be. Yes, Gaming Eclipse, there was action at turn 1. It's contact between Vic Chan and Incy, I believe. So we will need a... Oh, that's Saint Sim. That's Saint Sim that's gone round at Lesmo. So there was brilliant start from him. He's let Incy and Squid go through. There's a big gap behind that to Max Gassett. This, interestingly, this gap here is the one that's closing down the quickest, and that's Squid through to Incy, which I'll take nothing away from Squid. I'm a little bit surprised by this. Maybe Incy has got a bit more damage on this car than we thought. There was... Oh, he's got a slide. Parabolic car. He's held onto it. He does look pretty loose. Just have a quick look at his lap times here. So it's a 51 that last lap. Squid with a 50.8. So Squid's got some good pace over Incy here. And that gap further up the field, Bruise and Metal Steel has opened up again. I think there's quite a bit of damage throughout the field here as AB Saints is getting his car fixed. Big damage on the front of his. So Squid's lost 6/10 through the first sector. See if he can gain any ground. So he's gained 3/10 back, so maybe it's a bit of top end speed that Incy's lacking here, or it's going to be a bit of downforce through Lesmo's and Ascari. This will be an intersection where he'll lose a lot of time. Will Squid hold on to it? Too sure where the cameraman's looking for that one. And the gap's just eked out a little bit now, so I think Incy's back on us at 50.3 to 51.1. So Squid lost a little bit of time compared to the previous lap. Incy gained almost a second. So we've got Stanhouse and AB Saints. So Stanhouse is out of the pits now. That's Bounty and Vic Chan ahead of these two. Yeah, that's great. It'll be interesting to see how the early stop will work for Bounty. It's a bit hard. Oh, Squid, hold on to it, mate. Struggle to pull it up for the second chicane. He's had to ditch it over the curbs. As that's Incy, he hold it. Oh, it just keeps it off the fence. Squid gets through, so be about the right time for Incy to come in, get that damage fixed, get the tyres, and run with half a tank of fuel to the end of the race. This is about when the perfect strategy would be close to halfway, pit, half a tank of fuel, and fly through to the end of the race. Yes, Bounty's tyres will be shot by the end of this one. Although the tyre wear isn't too great here, it's just the fuel load, so we'll be heavy fuel load, just be losing time. And there we go. I think Incy's heard me into the pits. So that was Saint Sim has pitted as well, and Sparky God, who also pitted relatively early too. Not sure if he had damage, but the undercutters worked for him. Saint Sim did have his moment through here. Ended up in the sand. That's where he's lost a lot of his time. So Incy's still in the pits. Max Gassett's gone through. Just see what the gap would be between Sparky and Incy. So Incy's still in there. Sparky's just coming up to Parabolica here. And Incy's on his way. So Incy's got a good gap here. He's relatively close to the start of pit lane. Or the exit of pit lane, sorry. So Sparky's just crossed the line. So it'll be a few seconds in this. So Sparky has made up some ground. As suspected, midway through the race, the other Slambo, HSV have pitted. Metal Steel has pitted. Bruce continues on. So will the undercut work? Will Metal Steel needing a lap to get the tyres up to pressure? Will Bruce make that ground on him? As Squid comes in as well. Arrogance is in the pits. So see how much time Incy lost with that stop for damage. Slambo comes out. HSV's on his way as well. Metal Steel will be soon. So Max Gassett in the pits as well. Where's Incy here? So he's coming up to Scary. So we're trying to make the position on Squid as Metal Steel heads out now. Here's Incy through Parabolica. Squid's on his way now. I think Incy's going to get him here quite easily in the end. So Squid must have had some damage to fix then as well. I think Sparky's going to get Squid as well here. It'll be pretty tight. It's going to be very, very tight. Look at these two. And Sparky just gets him. As Bruce comes into the pit, so that'll be the last car needing the pit will be Exo. So we'll see if he comes in this lap. This battle here, Metal, Steel and Bruce. So this will be the final podium spot. See which of these two will get that. So Squid and Sparky. So second in it. And Sparky will make some move up the field. And Saint Sim, a couple of seconds behind Squid. And we've got Max Gassett further back, so Metal Steel is just exiting Parabolica. Bruce is just exiting pit lane, and this is going to be super close. Metal Steel at full speed, but I think Bruce might have got him here. He has too. There we go, the undercuts were staying out for that extra lap. He's managed to get that done, so well done Bruce. He's got the pass made in pit lane. It's the earlier contact between the two. It's a second and a half in it, so it's good strategy there by Bruce. It's been well done. The gap has gone down between Metal and Bruce, so Bruce's tyres will be getting up to temp and pressure here. Should be able to be able to hold that gap. As the gap between Sparky and Squid has eked out slightly as well. And St. Sims closing on Squid here with Vic Chan back in 10th. So he's managed to get through on Max Gassett. 2.3 seconds. So Bruce is going to be able to eke that gap out now. It should normalise now. It's a bit of a lonely race around here for HSV. He's got a big gap to Bruce behind him and a big gap in front of him to Slambo. As Slambo exiting Scary and grabs a bit of sand, he's back in the Bentley. It's the car that he did so well in Season 5 in the Teams Championship. He's pulling up the Games and Racing Team colours again. He's showing us his speed. So Exo's just pitted, so he's the last car to pit. Just wait to see where he comes out actually. Have to wait and see. So Exo's in 12th, so that's where Exo has come out. Just on board with Stanhouse here. He's got HSV ranging up behind him. And lets him go. Well done, Stanhouse. Just have a look at Slambo now. Seems to be doing it very, very comfortably. He suits his car down to a T. HSV in the Merc. Stick with him for a lap here. EXO just lets HSV go there. He's 20 seconds ahead of him to Slambo. About the similar gap back to Bruise, so that gap's even got it even further out. So Metal Steel's pace has just dropped off a little bit. Incy in 5th, so it's a really good comeback from him after the start. Oh, that is Metal Steel taking a huge amount of curve at Ascari. And Squid's just slowly making this gap up. It's a bit close back behind here. Gaggle of cars here, because that's Arrogance letting these guys go. So we've got Bounty, Saint Sim, and Max Gassett just behind. So this will be the battle to watch. Oh, he's got the job done quite easily in the end. Saint Sim's just run wide of the exit of Lesmos, and Bounty's Saint Sim's run wide again, so he's struggling a bit in that car. Slammer's just lapped him. So Squid with a 51 flat. See the time Sparky's doing here. Yeah, 50.5, so about half a second of pace between them. The gap should eke out a little bit, unless Sparky's had a couple of moments around the place. We're into the 17 minutes to go. Saint Sim's pitted, so he's obviously got some damage. He's struggling a bit in that car. So Bounty in 9th, Max Gassett rounding out the top 10. So 2.5 seconds to Bounty. The gap's opened up, so don't think Max will have the pace to be able to catch him. And then there's a big gap back to EXO with Saint Sim still in the pits. And Stanhouse, it's just around 6-second gap. Arrogance, welcome to RaceOnOz. Baptism of fire for him. Just struggled a little bit. Just hold on to it, mate. We've got AB Saints bring up the rear of the field. 15 cars still on track here. As after that pit stop, Bruce made that move, made the position on Metal Steel. Metal Steel just hasn't been able to hang with him. The undercut could have worked for Bruce, also because of the damage that Metal Steel would have had from the contact at turn 1. So unfortunately for also just watch EXO get Incy get crossed up there with the chicane. He's held onto it though in that Lexus. So Bruce made contact with Metal Steel at turn 1. Just wonder if that damage repair might have cost Metal Steel that bit of extra time in the position. So it's an interesting one, that. Sparky God's made more than a second of ground on Squid. So with about 10 laps left, more than that, sorry, it'd be about 7 laps left, sorry, less than that. So Vic, 7 seconds to Squid. So 49.5 times Squid. So 50.6 in that last lap for Squid. So second a lap. Squid still needs to maintain his pace as Vic. See what time he's done on this lap. .49.5, full 49.6. So Squid needs to maintain his pace. So 1.2 seconds on that last lap. He can't make any mistakes through the end of the race, otherwise Vic will be right on him. Just have a quick look at the front of the field. So 49.5. So Vic is lapping at the same speed as Slambo here, so that Honda does have some good pace. What's HSV done on this lap? 49.7. So the pace is all pretty close. I think a lot of that will be the consistency that Slambo has. So just keep an eye on a couple of these gaps. I think an intriguing one will be Vic and Squid. As Squid's actually made ground back on Sparky, so I think Sparky's had a bad lap there somewhere. So 51.1 for Sparky. That gap has gone down further, so Sparky's struggling here. Last lap was a 1:48.2 for Slambo, so he's just pulled the pace out again. He doesn't really need to. He's got a huge gap on the field. He's just doing it for fun now. He really will be enjoying himself. Oh, Sparky took a bit too much curb. He's bounced over there. So 1:49.8 that last lap for Squid there. So that's a great lap from him. That's his quickest for the race. He's just improved as the race has gone on. It's actually been a really good improvement from Squid from where he was at the start of last season to where he is now. He's jumped in this Merc for this round. He's taken to it quite nicely. But he will find out that it's not necessarily the easiest car to drive when you're in a slipstream. He's just taking a bit of curb in the exit of Ascari. But he's gaining ground on Sparky again. So Sparky really is just struggling a little bit here. Up on that last lap, so you can see the target clearly in front of him. Nicely through turn one. Sparky just had that bit of an extra gain coming out of turn one, so where Sparky lost a lot of time last lap. Oh, this time it's Squid. It's been in there a bit hot. Sparky will be listening to the broadcast, so he's been given a bit of a rev up here. Can he react to it? 9 minutes left. Second is the gap. See if Squid can gain here. 8 seconds back to Vic. Vic's doing 49, so he's going to be able to catch up to these guys relatively quickly now, I would suspect. These two battle. Vic will be very close towards the end of this race. For these two, similar lap time still, and Vic with a 49.7. So Vic's making good gains in these two. He's got plenty of pace in that car. Oh, Squid pulls it up, and Sparky's gone wide, and he's lost the position. So Squid's got the job done there. Sparky just struggling, couldn't pull it up, had to jump the curb. He's lost a hell of a lot of time, so now it's Squid's turn. Can Squid handle the pressure? Interesting finish between these two, with Vic ranging up behind them very quickly. Does Sparky have the pace to stick with him? Maybe not. He's just grabbed a bit of sand at the exit of Ascari. There is Vic, 8th position. He's 4/10 up on his quickest lap since the pit stop, so what time is he going to pull out here? .48.7. It's quickest for the race, so he's trying to catch these guys as quickly as he can, and that is Sparky gone round at turn 1, so that'll make it easy for Vic in this case. So Vic's up to 7th. He'll have the eyes on for Squid here. Oh, Bounty with a drive through. That'll be from turn 1. Damage on the first lap, and oh, that's unfortunate for him. He had a really good recovery, get back into the top 10. Four seconds between Vic and Squid, so just see Squid ahead. See what the difference is. You can see the difference in speed that Vic's being able to carry through Ascari. So it's 4 seconds. Saying that though, Squid, there's no slouch through there himself, so the biggest difference in time will be big heavy braking zones. First and second chicane. 51.4 for Squid. 49.9 for Vic, so second and a half. Ooh, Vic running a bit wide, a bit deep into turn 1. As about, he heads into the pits to take his penalty. See Vic in the background, that white dot, it's going to get bigger. Squid just grabbed a bit of the dirt and the exit there. Vic might have as well, but it's a gap 3.3. So it's taken 4/10 out so far this lap. Really good performance by Squid. Just be able to keep the gap to Vic. He isn't. We can just hear it sliding a little bit too much, so it'll affect his run under the straight. So Squid's reacted here, so that was only 4/10 of a second on the lap, so that was really good by Squid. It's a great lap by him. Has he done enough to keep Vic behind him? You can tell that Vic's pushing very, very hard. You can see it from this far away. And behind them looming up is Slambo as well, so... taking curb as well. He's in the sand. Squid didn't need this. Let's open up the opportunity for Vic here. Vic's gained a lot of time on him. And Squid's let him go. So Squid just held the car up high. He's let Vic go through. So Vic's up into 6th. Squid's back into 7th. Such a good lap the previous lap. That's very unfortunate that's happened, so he's already dropped 4 seconds on this lap. So we're going to miss the last lap battle between these two, so there'll be 2 laps left. Got Slambo just behind these two. Here's HSV. Exiting Lesmos. Metal Steel just behind them in the Bentley. And he's got a... Where's his Metal Steel? So he's at the second chicane. Incy just crossing the finish line. Vic just behind. And we've got Squid, Sparky,
leaders on final lap now.
Max Gassett, Stanhouse, Exo, Saint Sim, Arrogance, and AB Saints. In that green Ferrari, he's had a tough day. Yeah, Paulie, Vic did get that done. Got that done relatively easily too in the end. I was hoping Squid's hit the sand again, so Squid's just struggling with that car a bit now. And that race suit is that's the Bruce Hale racing colours from last season. So Squid's still keeping that race suit. One thing that Squid is doing this season is he doesn't have his windscreen wipers on when he's driving, so he's actually found some speed now. He's stopped doing that. So we just go on board with Slambo through to the end of this one. Commanding performance again from Slambo. So when he clicks with the car, he's almost unstoppable. Comes up onto the straight for the last time. There's the checkered flag.
Finished the race.
Well done, Slambo. Great performance from him. HSV just coming up to Parabolic up. Second place for HSV. Great effort from him. Bruce in third. So it's a similar gap to Bruce as it was between HSV and Slambo. As it comes around the last corner. Well done, a third place there, Bruce. Metal Steel in fourth. Solid performance from him. Incy in fifth. Really, really good comeback from him. A few more dramas along the way, but solid performance. He's been quick in that Lexus. Great qualifying performance from him. Unfortunately, incident at the chicane. And then it's Vic Chan 6th. That's across the line. Sir McSquid 7th, Sparky got 8th, Max Gassett 9th. Good performance from him after starting at the back of the field. Bounty in 10th, Stanhouse 11th, Exo 12th, Saint Sim 13th, Arrogance 14th, AB Saints in 15th, and unfortunately Fresh Prince, Khaki and Bits of Missing were unable to finish that race. But great performance there by Slambo, and we did miss qualifying, but we will have a look at the results here. So the qualifying, it was Slambo with a 4/10 lead over HSV for pole. Interesting to see who got the quickest sectors there, and Slambo only got the quickest final sector. So if they were able to pull their laps together, might have been slightly quicker through there. As we just go back through the field, unfortunately didn't see Kraken again tonight. He was in the server, but thank you, lads. It's a good race to watch that, and we look forward to the next few races. There's the round 1 stream for Pan Am Racing on Sunday, and then round 1, the first season of 2020 for PC. It's one I'm really looking forward to. Looking forward to seeing the liveries. Thank you all, and we'll